Beautiful. Hi. I am a person who's sick and tired of hearing one conversation above all others, and it's got to stop. Now, this is going to be a video that's going to have some people, hold on, trying to get a best angle of this ugly mug, and it's not easy, mainly because it's from a cell phone. I'm learning more and more about technology as I progress in my age. 30s is not a time for tweeting or selfies. It's more grown-up time. Ergo, the rum. But I digress. I let go. Anywho, back on to a tough subject, breastfeeding. Now, these are only opinions, not facts by any means necessary, as I am merely one man, person, doesn't matter, man or woman. Breastfeeding is something that a lot of people debate about, and I'm tired of seeing comments. I'm tired of seeing stuff on YouTube, Facebook, everything. I'd like to just say that breastfeeding is natural. Breastfeeding has to be done. The baby has to eat. And also tell people that most people couldn't breastfeed way back when. I'm not going to pretend like I knew that all along. I saw it on Adam Ruins Everything. I did my own research. Turns out first birthdays are very important, and children were never named. I saw that on Adam Ruins Everything. I'd heard it years before, but never really believed it, researched it. Most babies' mortality rate was very high before the first year. First year, they didn't make it. So the first year, they'd finally name the baby. And people would just call the baby. It didn't have a name for the first year of its life. Nothing. Nada. So people have to realize that medicine has progressed, but it also costs a lot. Overpopulation. That's a video for another time. Anywho, back to breastfeeding. It's just personal preferences. That's all. For example, if you're sitting in a church and, which I don't, I used to be a Christian. By that, I mean my father drugged me to church every Sunday, and do I have to go? Yes, you have to go. And as a paranoid schizophrenic, all I can say is I have enough imaginary friends. That's just my opinion. You want to believe in religion, go for it. Just stop dragging your freaking kids. Let them decide. Again, just an opinion, but coming from someone who always get dragged, it pushes us further away, not brings us to the light, gets us saved, and fucking wants to be, saved, all that. Anywho, but if you're in a church, back to the original point here before I got blown off by my own psychosis, and, the guy starts reading from wherever, we'll say Psalms. Well, actually, I don't know many versions of Psalms, but we will try, I'm lost as to the names of most of them. Anyway, I'll just start at a verse and you tell me where it's from. Pay no attention to the way of the heathen, for he that goeth into the woods with an axe, and chop down a tree, and fasten it to the ground so that it may not move, and deck it with silver and gold. Pay no attention to this heathen, for he may do you no harm, but he does you no good either. By the way, that's a little tip about Christmas trees being against the Bible, in case you guys missed that. But back on to, once you're hearing that from church and you lean, to your side, and it's like, maybe not the time. But if you're in a Chuck E. Cheese, where kids can be a kid, yay! I remember going to those as a fucking kid. And as a kid, I saw people breastfeeding. All I thought was, bop them, bop those alligators that come out of the holes. How long has it been since I've been there? Come on, if I remember the alligators, chomping and stuff, and you pop them on the head. And I just looked over and I was like, oh, look, that lady's got her boob out and she's feeding her kid. Pop, pop, pop. Didn't care, because that's a place for kids. Now, you see, again, all depends on the location. You're in a strip club. I know we're supposed to be seeing titties, but that woman is literally breast. I'm not going to complain. It's a little weird. Didn't want to do that right in front of the camera, in front of the mic. It's a little weird, but it's not illegal. That's kind of like a, kind of thing. Library, obviously, dude, come on. Now, that's a total nother place, but it's just about location. Now, pulling your boob out. And I've seen, before we go into that, again, just an opinion, because the Chuck E. Cheese is a family location, but, like family-oriented places, I could see it. Just try to be a little modest, try to cover up as best you can. That's it. No one expects you to have like a cloak over it, 3 Secret Service agents going, all right, we're clear. Pull the tit out. We're good. We have an intruder. What are you doing? What are you doing? Keep feeding. And no one expects you to, overcompensate for it, but just try to just remain mindful of other people. And the woman that I'm sorry, I got to call out, and you know who you are the eyeballers. And I call them the eyeballers because they'll be the woman breastfeeding, just rip open the shirt from the top and just pop that sucker out. And that's no problem. But the problem here is who's looking at me breastfeeding? It's my tit. It's my kid. What are you looking at? I'm sorry, I'm looking at your boob. I'm not going to lie. I'm a perv. Not to be confused with a prevert, which is a distorted pervert. A pervert makes crude comments to women. A prevert goes after children. As a member of the NPA, National Pervert Association, we'd like you to keep that in mind, which introduced such anime legends as Moroku, the monk with the curse in his hand. Wait, that's my left hand. The curse in his hand. Also, Master Roshi, who grabs a lot of ass. And we're not talking donkeys. Back onto this. Point is, you can't eyeball people and get mad at them for noticing. Now, if I'm looking around a room and I'm just like, oh man, this posture's, oh God, there's a tit. I'm allowed that little thing. As long as I don't go, oh, now my meal is ruined. I just saw a boobie. Oh my God. Everybody pack it up. Let's go. Even fucking, come on. But the point being, try to remain a little modest. And to the people who over-exaggerate, they're just as douchey as you are. But stop eyeballing people in the restaurant as you're eating. Or in the bookstore, or in the store, or anywhere. You're the reason why people get mad, because you can't attack conflict with conflict. 2 waves of water heading towards each other are going to cause just as much chaos, destruction, and anarchy. One wave's got to give without giving too much, because you give too much, the other wave overtakes it. You give just enough, the waves die out. You meet force with force, not over force. See what I'm saying? There has to be a balance, and that's what this conversation's about. People who breastfeed aren't wrong, and the people who are against breastfeeding aren't wrong. Thing is, just find that equal balance where you both can go like this and just part, not and push one way and the other. That's just being fucking asinine and rude. Now, again, with the locations. Again, library and stuff, maybe not. Strip club, definitely not. Kids' restaurants, all right. Because it's for kids, it's for families. And stop eyeballing people. Take that rule. Because each person can go one way or another. And to the people who look for the people breastfeeding, people who have the blanket over, and you barely spot their breastfeeding, and so you're pretty much right on top of them, stop bitching. If you're like 20 tables away and you see her boob flat out, and it's obvious she's breastfeeding, try to cover up a little bit. But if you're the next table over and you just happen to glance, and you're like, she might be breastfeeding, and you have to like, oh my God, I can see it from here, she is. You're the weirdo. You're getting that close to spot the person is. That's your fault. So basically, it's just create a common, symbiotic relationship here where we can just try to get along. And that's it. It's that simple. It all boils down to you treat me with respect, I treat you with respect, and everybody in the end wins. Because, let's face it, we're all in the restaurant or in the store, if you're a religious building, and the rules of wherever go, that's just how it is, without impeding on the rules of others or the rights of others. So just keep it balanced, people, and just that friction will stop, because that's what causes the controversy. That's what causes the, oh my God, leave your tit in your fucking shirt, bitch. Oh, you're a fucking asshole. You're a cum feminist cunt. You're a fucking douchebag. You're a prick. Yeah, it just causes nothing but comments one way to the next way to the next way. It's simple if we just go by these basic rules, which again, just an opinion. Ladies, try to be a little bit more modest. People, try to be a little less annoying. If a person's breastfeeding and you barely spot it, let it go. As long as they're not fucking just taking their shirt off, whipping it over their head, throwing it, then pulling their fucking bra off, tying it to someone's fucking face and going, oh crap, now where's my kid again? And just latching that thing to her boob going, let it go. And, the 3 ways that I spotted a bunch of women breastfeeding. Some women go under the shirt where I can't really demonstrate, but it's basically you pull kind of up the shirt a little bit where you can see the stomach. Oh my God, I can see stomach. I don't care how fat you are. If you can see stomach, stomach is a stomach. So if you get sexually turned on by a stomach, you got some fucking issues. If you get disturbed by a stomach, you've got issues. It's human skin. Bikinis show that. Sports bras do. So, all right, I will bend. And the baby's head goes there and then just the blanket gently over that. No one sees the boob. Baby gets to eat. All right. And side. I don't know what miracle or magician woman this was, but through the side of her sleeve, now you can see like here, and then just pulled the boob to the side. And this was a sleeve, not a sleeveless shirt like I'm wearing. Had a sleeve and everything. And the woman pulled her boob out, and you could see the nipple barely through the sleeve. And I looked, and I'm like, okay, she's breastfeeding. Just want to make sure. I just thought that was the fucking weirdest thing ever. I thought the baby was sucking on her arm. It's okay. And I just continued my meal. Didn't freak me out. But the women that are wrong are the ones who just go straight through the shirt like this and then just pull the fucking thing out and it's right there. Basically because the contrast of the shirt emphasizes it. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's a little tactless, which that's a fact. Wrong, not a fact. Just my opinion. So relax, ladies. I'm not saying it's illegal to breastfeed in public. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just stating an opinion about modesty. I'm just a modest kind of fellow. I don't walk around without a shirt on, mainly because I'm kind of fat. But even when I wasn't fat, I seriously, in 2012, it might have been 2011. No, it was 2012. It was the spring of 2012. Took my shirt off at one time in a public swimming pool because I had lost a good deal of weight and I was proud of myself. I never did it again. And I was still that same weight for the next 2.5 years until 2013-14. I put on about 10 more pounds. Then these last couple of years, I put on about 40 pounds. But still, I'm just saying, I'm not doing it for the modesty thing. I'm not doing it for the because I'm in shape or out of shape thing. I'm doing it because I'm sorry, I was raised more closed, more try not to get attention. I was raised more, and the only reason I'm doing these videos is just to try to put my opinion out there. Maybe some people will come back to me and say, hey man, well, I agree with you on some points, but on this point, you're kind of flawed. Look at it in this way. And I'll say, okay, watch my video again, look at your comment and add it to my little lesson here or whatever you want to call it and learn, because that's what we're here for, to teach each other. It takes a village to raise a child. And I think that phrase should be changed. It takes a village to raise a person, because we never stop learning. Those who stop learning are already dead. And I think they need to put that on that TV show Scorpion, because everybody needs to learn. Everybody evolves, changes. No one stays the same. Evolution is survival. And as a people, we could learn together. And so in closing, my rules, not fact, my opinion rules on breastfeeding, to the women who are breastfeeding, 2 simple things, actually might be 3. Rule 1, just try to keep it modest. Rule 2, to the people who stare at people, that's not keeping it modest. We know you're breastfeeding, but if you stare us down, people will react. You're looking for those reactions. Don't be rude. I'm sorry, you're of the breastfeeding community, you're the feminist that no one wants to talk to because you're staring at me. Now, if I look at your boob and I keep looking at it and then I take a picture of it and then you see my hand going up and down, talk all you want. But if you see me look at it and I'm like, oh man, and I get a little uncomfortable, but I don't say anything and I just leave, that's on me. That doesn't mean you did anything wrong. That's on me. Now, I'm not saying I did do that, but I'm just putting myself in that person's position. I'm trying to evolve by looking at it from a different point of view. And if I do that, that's on me, not you. The third my opinion, rule on breastfeeding to the people doing the breastfeeding, as far as just kind of keep it modest, stop eyeballing people. The third one, just understand location. Sometimes okay, sometimes not okay. And that can vary with each person. Mine, the more family-friendly environments, obviously water parks, this, that, okay. Churches, maybe. Obviously strip clubs, no. Bars, dude, what the hell? Shit like that. And time, location and time. For example, midnight, people are going to be wondering what the kid's doing up, but midnight, there's not really a big crowd, so you probably would get away with it. And that's pretty much it. Just pay attention, modesty, stop eyeballing people. It's fucking weird. It's the people who want to raise controversy. Not the people who just happen to catch someone's eye. Then it's like, oh my God, I got to look away real quick. To the woman who eyeball, I'm sorry, you know who you are. You want to start a fight. You're the feminists that are equivalent to the KKK. And I hate to phrase it like that, but it's 100% true. Because you're not really a feminist. You're just a person that wants to eat a person's junk with your mouth, and you're really, really bitchy. And it's not just men, to other women you do that with, because your opinion is law to you. And the evil ones stop eyeballing and shit'll go down. And on the same note, so you don't think I'm picking all the women who are breastfeeding because I'm a guy, to the men who whine like little bitches, I'll deal with you first, just so you guys don't think I'm picking on the woman. Don't whine about it. And it's not gays that whine about it, which a lot of straight guys will say, because I've seen so many comments to this, they're ridiculous. And when I find them, I'll put them in the comments down below without the name, which will make it look like I'm just making it up. But I'm not, because frankly, I just want to get better myself. I just want to understand people. Psychology fascinates me. I've always been fascinated since I was a child, which is probably why I like Scorpion and Toby, because it's ironic, because Happy's the kind of chick that I would probably fall in love with, because one of my first crushes was this woman named Claire, who could out bench press her boyfriend at the time, Brian, who's probably the greatest guy I'll ever fucking know. Anywho, to those guys, stop whining. You're the ones who are looking for the woman so you can start something. The eyeballers and you little dicks are the ones who start all this stuff and bitch about it. Without you two parties in the group, the eyeballing woman that fucking breastfeed, and you little douchebags that fucking feed off it like fucking succubi, we'd be fine. And the other two rules for people who are complaining about people breastfeeding, it has to be done. As long as they remain modest, you shouldn't remain, up in freaking arms. That's two, it has to be. And come on, stop being so whiny about it. I mean, there's no point. And the third and final rule, opinion, not fact. Third and final rule is that people should respect people's boundaries. Obviously, they are breastfeeding, yes, but if they're being modest about it, and you have to actually look to see a boob, it's not like it's, okay, you're breastfeeding. Oh God, the milk. I get it. Stop complaining. It's not right in your face. You have to look. If you don't look, you won't see it. And most importantly, it's a boob. And I have to say for myself, if I see a woman breastfeeding and I like the way her tits look, I know it's vulgar to say tits, but I'm going to be like, boobies, boobies, boobies. Shut up, brain. I know they're boobies. Boobies. Shut up. Don't look. I'm going to go like this. It's not because I'm offended. It's because men are immature, all right? If I was gay, I wouldn't be doing that. If a dude pulled his junk out, I'd be like, testicles. And I'm not equating balls and boobs. Oh my God, he just said balls and boobs are the same thing. No. I know I don't have the same budget in most things or the knowledge of computers and fucking cameras and all that shit. But the thing is, I'm a heterosexual male. I'm 34 almost. I'm going to look at boobs. I'm too old not to. All right? I'm going to check out some tits. Now, obviously, I'm not going to freaking be boobs. Actually, I did drool a little bit. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to be like, okay, there are definitely boobs over there. But I'm going to look. To the woman also, don't complain if guys look. If I notice, I'm sorry I notice boobs. My God, I'm a fucking sinner. Jesus, heal me, because I done did sinned. And I know I probably shouldn't make fun of Southern people when I do that, because I live in Georgia, but still, point is, let people go. So in conclusion, be modest about breastfeeding. Don't be a douche when women do breastfeed. And just everyone will get along. Because breastfeeding in public should be allowed. My mother breastfed right at the same fucking table as me. And she had a knitted blanket. So that light got through, but I didn't look directly at it. Now, you have to look directly through one of those knitted blankets with the fucking holes in them to see the boob. Now, I don't want to see my mother's tits. All right? I don't. I'm not from Alabama. But the point is, and to Alabama, I'm sorry. That was a crude joke. I take that back. You've been made fun of enough. I don't want to see my mom's tits. All right? So basically, just be modest. I was sitting at the same table. She breastfed. I had no problem with that. I didn't say, oh my God, Mom, go to the fucking bathroom. You're a disgusting whore. Did not say that. It's my fucking mother. All I want is women to have some semblance of modesty, men to have some semblance of respect for themselves and others while I burp, and not just bring it up like it's a huge, crucial moment. And breastfeeding, yes, is allowed in restaurants, provided modesty, decency are shown by all parties. And we can all get along. You can breastfeed. Just cover your tit. I can sit down and just do whatever. Bus stop, restaurant, comedy show, the first flight to the fucking moon. No matter where we are, as long as those two basic rules are practiced, modesty and decency on all ends, and both things on all ends, everyone will get along. So breastfeed where you want, with decency, and stop complaining about people breastfeeding. Because they're boobs. Who doesn't like boobs? Anywho, that's all. And adios.